And we are back with another picks and predictions video for UFC Fight Night Walker versus Zhang. In the last UFC event for UFC 319, we did pretty well. Finished in the top 10 in the community in terms of predictions, so hopefully we carry over that momentum this week. Thank you to the UFC Predictions Tracker for tracking my picks as usual. Subscribe to him if you aren't already. Now let's get straight into the picks and predictions. Apologies in advance for butchering these fighters' names. This is going to be a long card for me. First fight is going to be in the light heavyweight division where we have Diyar and Nurgozhay set the face off against Uran and Satybaldiev. I like the side of the underdog here. It's one that you should definitely stay away from in terms of betting, but I think Diyar manages to use his wrestling, get the fight down to the ground, control Uran. Uran has proven to be tough, like what he did in the Martin Budai fight. He wasn't easy to put away. In fact, Martin Budai won by decision, and that's exactly how I see Diyar getting it done as well, by unanimous decision. Uran is a huge fighter, very lengthy, but that doesn't matter when the fight's taken down to the ground, so that's why I'm going with Diyar here. Next up, we're going to the bantamweight division where we have Rongzhu set the face off against Suyoung. This one is a tough one to predict. Highly recommend you stay away from it in terms of betting it again. Sounds like a repeat of the last fight, but I like the side of the underdog here. Rongzhu, his striking looked good against Kong Lee. He actually managed to get a finish against Kong Lee. And Kong Lee, look at how good his striking looked against Gaston Bolaños, where he got the finish. Suyoung, he has looked good in the UFC. He has actually managed to get decision victories in the UFC, but he doesn't really have the power that Rongzhu has. I think Rongzhu has an accumulation of power punches. I don't think he's going to be able to put Suyoung away, but I think he's going to do enough in the striking to get a unanimous decision victory. On to the featherweight, so we have 5 letters, 1 word, Yizha set the face off against Westin Wilson. There's no reason why Yizha should be this high of a favorite. I do think he gets the job done by submission, however, but don't put your money on that, not one bit. Westin Wilson, he has okay jiu-jitsu, he has good striking, but he's a bit of the punching bag in the UFC. I think the UFC are trying to build up the Chinese prospect in Yizha, and he gets the job done. Next up, we're going to the middleweights where we have Michel Pereira set the face off against Daukaus. I like the side of Michel Pereira. He is a heavy favorite in this one. I think he manages to get the finish. So the bet is going to be Michel Pereira to win in under 2.5 rounds. The version of Michel that we saw against Abus Magomedov, I have no idea what the hell that was. He looks so hesitant. And if that version of him shows up in this fight, we're going to be in some trouble. But if it's a Michel Pereira that we know and love, he's going to get an early finish. So Michel Pereira to win is the pick. The play is going to be Michel Pereira to win under 2.5. Next up, we're going to Rongzhu set the face off against Austin Hubbard. And I like the side of Rongzhu in this one. He looked really good against Cody Steele. Austin Hubbard has proven, in my opinion, to not be UFC level. So I think Rongzhu wins by unanimous decision. Austin Hubbard has proven to be tough, and I don't think Rongzhu has that much finishing ability, but he has a lot more for him in the striking. So Rongzhu to win by unanimous decision is the pick and the play. Moving on to the flyweights, we have Kavanagh set the face off against Charles Johnson. And this one is a really easy fight for me. I think Kavanagh is way too much for Charles Johnson. I think he outstrikes him. I think even if the fight gets a little bit hairy, he can get the fight down to the ground and control Charles Johnson there. I think Kavanagh wins by unanimous decision. On to the next one where we have Maheshate set the face off against Gage Young. Gage Young against Evan Elder, he proved to be very durable. Maheshate, he has knocked out the likes of Steve Garcia, which is aging quite well. I think he manages to hurt Gage Young frequently. He's not going to be able to put out Gage Young, but I think he wins a unanimous decision. That's going to be the pick and the play here. I like the value on Maheshate, especially as the underdog. Next up, we have Taiyilake Nueraji I have no idea how to pronounce that name, but he's facing Kiefer Crosbie. Kiefer Crosbie is a layup for him. I think he manages to win inside the distance. I think he manages to get a KO in spectacular fashion against a guy like Kiefer Crosbie, and they're going to push him to the moon. So the pick and the play is going to be the Chinese guy to win inside the distance. On to the flyweights, where we have Sumudaerji set to face off against Kevin Borjas, and I like the side of Sumudaerji on this one. I know a lot of people are siding with Kevin Borjas on this one because of the performance he had against Ronaldo Rodriguez. But Ronaldo Rodriguez is an absolute fraud, and that is fights that guys like Kevin Borjas can capitalize on and just put on a clinic. But I don't think he was able to get the finish against Ronaldo Rodriguez, and you really should against a guy as chinny as Rodriguez. But I like the side of Sumudaerji. I think his experience is going to be a big factor in this fight. He's a lot more tested at the UFC level. I think he's a better striker as well. So yeah, give me the side of Sumudaerji. On to the heavyweight division, where we have Sergei Pavlovich set to face off against Waldo, Cortes, Acosta. This one could go one of three ways. Either one, Waldo, Cortes, Acosta puts on a clinic and wins a unanimous decision, where he wins every single round. Maybe hurt 1 or 2 rounds, but he wins more or less every single round and gets that unanimous decision. Or the other 2 ways is going to be Sergei Pavlovich an absolute bomb and put Waldo, Cortes, Acosta away, or Sergei Pavlovich turn into Khabib like what he did against Jairzinho Rozenstruik and just hold you down there and try to land some blows, control you, and win a unanimous decision. I didn't even know he had it in him, but apparently he does. There's more paths to victory for Sergei Pavlovich. He's not going to be put away, and he definitely can catch Waldo and put him out cold. So I like Sergei Pavlovich to win. I think he wins that KO. I think he manages to land that solid shot. So yeah, Sergei Pavlovich to win by KO. No bet on this one. Next up, we're going to, should I say the lightweights, because they're fighting at 153 pounds, but Brian Ortega set to face off against Aljamain Sterling. This is supposed to be a featherweight fight, but I believe it's more of a catch weight over 5 rounds. I like this side of Aljamain Sterling. I don't think Aljamain is going to get put in a triangle or guillotine or any kind of submission that Brian Ortega is able to put up. I think Brian Ortega's takedown defense is not going to hold up against a guy like Aljamain. Aljamain is just going to ride him over 5 rounds and win a unanimous decision. So the pick and the play is going to be Aljamain Sterling to win by unanimous decision. Now on to the main event, where we have Mingyang Zhang set to face off against Johnny Walker. Johnny Walker has been on a skid, getting put out left, right, and center. And Mingyang Zhang has been on a tear, putting guys out in the first round. I see this going no different. This breakdown can actually be longer than the fight. But I think Mingyang Zhang hurts Johnny early. Johnny doesn't know how to move after being hurt, and he walks into another shot that puts him out cold, putting him on a highlight, and Mingyang Zhang wins. The pick is Mingyang Zhang to win by KO. The play is going to be him to win by KO in under 1.5 rounds. Every single one of his fights at the UFC has finished in the first round. He has so much power. He knows how to put guys away when they're hurt. I see this fight going no different. And now we're talking about the ladder challenge. Last week we lost by one fighter in Gadzhi Rabadanov, where he lost a unanimous decision against Alfie Davis by one round, and that one hurt quite a lot, but we're gonna look to bounce back in this one. I got 3 fighters for you. First fight on slate is gonna be Lonnie Kavanagh, then we're gonna have Rongzhu, and then we're gonna finish it off with Michel Pereira. These 3 fighters should turn $10 into 20 plus. I'll see you for next week, where we move to ladder challenge step number 2. This is all the picks, predictions, ladder challenge that I got for you this week. Be sure to leave a like. Let me know what you think of it down below in the comments. Subscribe, follow me on TikTok, follow me on Twitter, support the channel on Patreon, and I'll catch you in the next one. Until then, game time.